Happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys. I'm Josh, and this is this will be my first video on the homebrewing. So cheers! I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do a tasting and a post review of my first all grain batch. Yeah, so I brewed this beer. It would have been just after Christmas. I did a quick visit of a local brewery, and that sort of remotivated me to get back into homebrewing. And I dusted off a kit that my missus bought me when I bought this apartment. So the kit, I don't know how long it had been sitting on the shelf for, but it had been sitting in the apartment a year and a half. So the grains were already old. There wasn't any moldy flavour or anything like that, but the hops for sure probably weren't as effective as they should have been. But it was a good opportunity anyways. The only issue was that the instructions were in French and weren't that good, even if it was in French. Like, my comprehension in French is pretty good. I mean, I live and work here, and the language that I work in is in French. So it was just a bit annoying. They didn't really explain the steps very well. So in the end, I sort of didn't realise that, having to cool it down, I thought, being in the middle of winter, I'd stick it out on the terrace and give it a good stir every so often to try and naturally decrease the temperature. But I think that's where I sort of introduced a foreign microbe into the beer. Talking to actually the guys at the homebrew club here, they say that, yeah, for sure that would have been one of the biggest faux pas. So I've since, on the smaller batches, I've been, just steeping the whole pot in freezing cold water and just not touching it until it cools down. Or on the bigger batch, I just dumped it into a sanitized fermenter. And I've got myself a plate heat exchanger, but I haven't sorted the connections out. Like, I'm not too sure if I should be using garden hose on the wort side as well, because that might give it a bit of a weird taste as well. So ironically, I do work in heat exchange, so I should be able to figure out the system. I was looking at doing like Richard's twin chiller, but too lazy, I suppose. So let's get stuck in. The idea with this one, it was what they call in France a blonde. So it was 100% Pilsner malt. I have no idea what the hops were because I didn't say what the hops were. There was a bittering hop and a flavour hop that was sort of added in 30 minutes to the boil. But I think the infection and the microbe that got in just pretty much killed it all off. The first one that I tried definitely came across very acid, sour, and I was like, sweet, I've made a sour beer without trying. But then I've tried a few recently, and it's gone more to that apple cider apple taste, and so yeah, it's probably gonna end up becoming drain cleaner. Realised I didn't have a glass ready, so alright, obviously very first video, so yeah, alright, let's get stuck in, shall we? So there's a bit of a hiss. The carbonation isn't that great because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sort of like, when I was extract brewing in Australia, it came with like the carbonation drops that you just chuck in the bottle. There was a bit of fizz, I suppose. Alright, yeah, and I was using Rapadura, so we'll see how it turns out. It might be okay. There was a few where it really wasn't that good. I'm liking that colour actually. It's just a pity it's been tasting sour and like apple. Oh yeah, some of the yeast went in. Now, yeah, there's still that like sour apple cider smell. I don't know if I really want to be drinking this, but oh, fuck it. I'm thirsty. Had a long day. Sorting the terrace out. It's, getting the potager sorted. So I'm getting all the legumes and stuff like that ready for growing. But yeah, like one of the old beer ads in Australia, hard earns first. And this probably tastes just as good as that beer. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to give them publicity, obviously. Yeah, still an acid taste. I do like the colour though. I mean, it was definitely clearer in the bottle, but I suppose I let some of the yeast drip in, I suppose. Yeah, smell wise, yeah, for sure. Alright, at least with this beer I sort of learnt sanitation. Like, I've got a spritz bottle full of Star San, just ready to rock. So whenever I'm touching anything with on the brew day, post brewing, bottling, everything just gets a level of Star San on it. And I'm saying with a lot of the later batches that I haven't had any infection issues, and also with how I'm cooling it down now as well. Like this one, like I said, I just sort of let it naturally cool outside and stir it. So that opening and closing the lid obviously let some motherfucker in, but who knows? I'm thirsty, so I suppose like when I was looking at the Krausen afterwards, like I didn't see any like lacto bubbles or anything like that, so that didn't really, like, it didn't tip me off until like I opened the first one. I was just like super devastated. But the missus, she likes sour beers, so she doesn't really like this one, but so I have to go and get like sour beers from. There's a good brewery if you're ever in France, Azimut, Azimut. They do some interesting sour beers and stuff like that, and they do some really good ones. I always try and get theirs when they're in the bottle shop. But yeah. I'm definitely getting a vinegar taste now. Perfect. So yeah, this is a lesson learned. You know, first all grain batch. I learned a lot actually. Like, I mean, and then obviously after this is when I started watching on YouTube to try and get some tips and tricks and stuff like that. And like, I was watching Richard at Dude's Brews, Big Banana. Fuck, he's funny. And yeah, and Dino's. Actually, Dino's. I was watching a lot of his videos, and yeah, just and I was talking like especially with the water cooling. Like I don't know. I think there's got to be like a better way to it to not use so much water. Like I did a quick calculation. If you're cooling for 20 minutes, that's like, you know, 20 minutes is like a good efficient immersion chiller will cool down a batch of beer in 20 minutes normally. So 20 minutes roughly equated to almost 70 litres of water. So like, I know some of you guys, it's going out into a garden. I don't have a garden here. I can't really just stick the hose over the balcony and like rinse the yard down there of the neighbour. I mean, he wouldn't be, well, probably wouldn't be too impressed. So I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I wouldn't mind to like either do a double batch. I know this, I think Harry, he does that, I think, with his brewery, Harrison's brewery. And there's some other breweries here where they do that as well, where they'll have the chilled down water will heat up and go straight into the HLT. So you're not wasting calories and energy that way. So I sort of like that as like from a work aspect, that the heat exchanged is not lost. It's still used. So anyways, this is probably going to become drain killer, you know, like pretty sure, because I'm already getting a headache from it. Or was that the drinks last night, maybe? But yeah, alright, so cheers guys. Yeah, like I said, I like the colour, but fuck. Now, we'll see how the next couple of beers go, and like we've got a few batches planned and stuff like that, so we'll see how we go, and I'll try and keep on top of the videos, even though I'm like away a lot with work, so we'll sort something out. Alright, cheers guys, have a good one.